where we stays quiet, enchantingly so, especially around nighttime. It's so quiet that everything that happens around here can be heard quite easily. Bored barking dogs, the occasional domestic violence of neighbors, couples fighting, children getting beaten, even when trash is being thrown into dumpsters or a soda can is rolling along the pavement, you can hear them all in the silence around you. Even so, it's almost as if everything is considerate over the loudness. At first sight, it's a trashy neighborhood for the poor. You got a basketball court that's barely ever used for what it's meant for. You got back alleys and walkways trimmed with trash, such things as candy wrappers, glass bottles, torn clothes, etc. Of course, yeah, it's under-maintained, but it's really something special. This place, the pale moon, big and bright and high up in the starry sky. It's really something oddly beautiful, especially around nighttime and all the way up into the 0 hours. That's when the boys and I would meet up and hang out. In my small group of close friends, there's 4 of us teenage boys, but a year ago there were 5 of us. The 5th kid, Levi's the name. All sorts of rumors are being passed around about Levi. The truth of the matter is, we were the last ones who saw him, and he looked the same as he always was, all full of smiles, always cracking his signature witty Levi jokes. Those rumors about him running off someplace else because of a negligent mother or because he found love, none of it's true. Something happened to him a year ago, and it's never left our minds, and nobody cares but his negligent mom and us. For the 9 months Levi has been missing, we'd been having our eyes peeled wide open for clues, traces, anything but. It's all in vain. Absolutely nothing to be found. It's literally as if he just disappeared, wiped off the face of the earth, so we don't blame the cops for not turning up with any good news about him. 10 months in, call us terrible friends, but we lost hope in finding him and have stopped searching. All we do is hang out late at night, 1 man short. We'd hang around, sipping on soda, munching on chips, just keeping our eyes open for any dodgy situations that might happen around here. Guess you could say we're the neighborhood silent vigilantes. It was a Wednesday night when the oddest thing happened. There was this old guy, probably pushing 70, maybe even 80, balding, scraggly beard, face chased with wrinkles and cuts. He's passed out in the middle of the road, laying on his back with a pool of blood where his head is. This is just the kind of dodgy situation we're looking out for, where we can't even begin to understand what's going on. We edge closer towards the passed out old guy until we're all standing around him in a circle. I'm the one who hunkers down and taps his shoulder, and I'm going, "Hey, Pops, yo, you alright, Pops? Wake up." And I'm doing this for like 5 minutes or so. The guy just opens his eyes a slit and lazily slurs, "What happened?" as if woken up after a long night of partying and now hung over. I stand up and the guy puts some force into lifting himself off the ground and sitting up. Maybe it's to do with the lighting, but now we can all see that the old guy's been battered and bruised worse than we thought. He's got a black eye almost swollen shut, got blotches of dried blood everywhere, making his white beard mostly red. My friends and I start whispering amongst ourselves. We're saying things along the lines of, maybe he's just drunk, or this guy's shifty, call the cops. We're whispering things like, this doesn't feel right. The old guy sits still on the ground looking up at us, knees up to his chest. Over time he starts screwing up his face, either in an expression of pain or confusion, and he goes, Who am I? Where am I? What's going on?" And over time he starts freaking out, shivering, panic building up. At this point, as scared as we are, we also feel sorry for the old guy. What, he's suffering from dementia or something? So, a friend and I grab him by either elbow for support, and we lead him over to sit him down on a bench under a flickering streetlight near the wide fence encompassing the basketball court. The guy stank, all kinds of stink, sweat, mildew, even traces of putrefaction and rotten fish. But he didn't even smell of alcohol, I can tell you that. No average teenager like myself can be an expert in dealing with the needy elderlies, but I'm trying my best here, and I'm telling the guy, "Sir, Pops, calm down, relax, and just try your best to remember, alright, Pops?" And so Pops tries his best to calm down. He slows down, takes deeper breaths, and then shuts his eyes. Then, a moment of silence, a minute or a half. Eventually, you can see his eyeballs start flickering around behind his closed eyelids as if he's receiving an overload of information. Too much to process. All of a sudden, he shoots his eyes wide open and lets out a loud moan of pain and agony. And this throws us all back a step on our heels. Now we are freaking out. One of us, his name's Mason, short kid, always wearing oversized baggy clothes, mostly yellow, and a big beanie which makes his head look smaller than it already is. Mason fumbles his hand deep down into his pocket and scrabbles to take his phone out. And he's going, yo, I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the cops right now. This is crazy. Another friend, name is Jackson, dark-skinned, average height for a teenage boy but well built for his age. Doesn't look like he should be hanging out with us losers, but he does. Jackson holds Mason's arm, stops him from phoning the cops, and he tells Mason, hold up, chill, we can sort this out ourselves. If it gets out of hand, that's when we call the cops. The old guy stops moaning and just shivers, swaddling himself in his large coat and crying. Jackson's all composed, always is. He's the group's Mr. Big, always thinks rationally, always focused. He steps up to Pops and tells him, listen, man, we don't have to get the cops involved, right? They've got a lot more important things to attend to. This is something we can handle ourselves, right? In a lagged response, Pops nods his head. Then he frowns as if pulling something deep from his memory. Cops, you mean the police? Red flash, blue flash, sirens, yes? That's it, yeah. Red flash, blue flash, white cars, sirens. See, memory just needs a little kick to a start. Then we can get you in touch with your kids or your grandkids or something like that. That's all, right? Yeah, yes. I need to take a walk. I think that'll help. Hey, by all means, Jackson says, stretching one arm out to the road. You'll all follow? Pops inquires, seemingly more calmed down, to which Jackson looks back at the three of us and we all nod. For a while, Pops hesitates but finally stands up and begins walking. We follow at least 5 steps behind him. This all happened 2 months ago, and it's easily the most daunting, strangest things I've ever been involved in, because as we are following Pops in his walk, I am slowly starting to think the guy is absolutely nuts. Bonkers. Nutty as a fruitcake. He was shivering, scratching the back of his head, saying disjointed words like chattering teeth, white pearls and red, and he turned back to us and get up close to any one of us and say, won't stop screaming, scratching their eyes out, biting on tongues, puking pink bits of flesh, pulling the skin off, and he chatter his teeth. All the while, Mason's getting closer and closer to phoning the cops, while Jackson, Mr. Big, is all composed and thinks he's got the situation handled. So we're all just following the jittery, odd old guy on his walk, shaking in our shoes. The walk ends at the underpass. Pops can't go any further, more so than physically. He mentally can't get past this point. Something is stopping him, an invisible wall. He's all frozen, tensed up, terrified, wide eyes fixed onto the dark tunnel. Jackson walks up beside Pops and asks, what's the matter, old man? Horrified and still looking into the gloomy, graffiti-infested underpass, Pops is a normal person all of a sudden, not a crazy guy anymore. He says, this is where I went missing. This is the underpass Levi always took to get back home. He lived in another place and only came down to hang out with us. Plus, he really liked our place, so he'd always looked forward to coming down. Levi did, however, mention how suspicious his underpass is. But right now, tick, tock, it takes some time for the gears in our brains to start working. Frowning curiously, Jackson finally figures it out. Levi? The old man looks at Jackson, connects with a long-lost memory. That's my name.